there's a really not only ancient way of knowing, but an ancient connection that we all tap into. You know that we don't. It's hard to quantify, at least scientifically. But as a scientist, um, wanting to better understand the world that you live in, and also just for sheer survival, we have to be quite observant. And over time, I've really become quite humbled. It's just taken one little bug to put me in my place. Every time I think I've figured it out, Mother Nature has been very quick to let me know that I've barely scratched the surface. And so I think when we can really observe and sort of humble ourselves to the marvel of the world and just how nature works, we can really learn a lot, and it really just starts with observation. And within that then comes inspiration and that connection.
I think that's really well said, yeah. I think that inspiration from observation has been really what my journey through this has been. And that's been the real revelation of working directly with bees. It's that positive feedback loop again that I was saying. And I know we were talking about this earlier. There's also this idea that people have with artists that they're supposed to know what it is that they're trying to express before they do it. And I find it interesting because people don't have that same notion about scientists, probably, right? Like, I mean, a true experiment is one as a scientist where you obviously don't know the answer before you start. The whole point is there's a genuine exploration happening, and based on observation, you come to a conclusion. And for some reason, that logic doesn't apply to artists usually, but it should. And so in my experience with this, it's really been a journey of trying to stay connected to a genuine conversation with the bees, a genuine exploration with the bees, and having my work come from that place instead of, a top-down directive where I go into making something knowing what I want it to be. That's what I'm trying to avoid doing.
Yeah, I would just compliment that too. It's about trial and error. That's exactly the same with science. You're right. They don't know the answers. That's why they're trying to do experiments. And then within that, as you learn, then you modify. There's you have to be able to admit when you don't recognize something, when you don't, and then your creative process can kind of encourage you to either learn more or try something new, both in art and science.
Yeah, so I included some images of early pieces of art where I was working with bees and I didn't know what I was doing. It was part of this exploratory journey. And I think it's a very important part of a conversation about our relationship to the environment, right? Because again, it's about like living in real time, being responsive to the environment around us.